up. Get ready. It's going to be a very, very intense journey.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Frame Skip episode 35. I am your host for the evening, Elijah Steele, and with me is George Cam Newton Loftus.
Howdy.
George, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I feel like a real member of the podcast because I got introduced first. It's never happened.
That's why I want to do it, and it's totally not because I'm going counterclockwise on the Zoom call.
That makes me feel good. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome. Anything I can do to help. We also have Austin. I forgot his nickname.
The amazing Austin Eller. That's me. Woohoo!
Mario Kart Wii 140.
You couldn't have sounded more like Kermit if you tried.
Oh, Kermit.
Yeah, it's been like a month and a half since I've been on the show. It's glad to be back here. I'm sorry that I'm back, but I'm here.
I mean, it happens. You know, we accept it, and we just have to take it in stride.
Yeah.
But you know who else is back? The one,
nobody. There's no other person.
Nope.
Kyle, the coach, Newman.
So I think it's been like 1.5 months times 2.
It's been 84 years
since I've been on, so
Wait,
I had to.
Your first name isn't Coach? You have an actual first name?
No, he's just like Coach from New Girl.
It is my first
New
name.
Girl, yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
His name is also Elijah Steele, so we have to call him Coach. It's just like New Girl.
Such a great show. Coach, how have you been? It has been so long.
I guess I just put it simple. I've been really busy with teaching remotely. It's a struggle. The struggle is real. So, and then military's been demanding. So this whole 2020, or at least the back half, is learning how to balance military and teaching. And I haven't got it. I can't do it. I just wanted to just quit today because I don't know. It's frustrating, but take a deep breath and take each day. So
I will say, my next door neighbor is a teacher, and hearing her occasionally talk about what she has to do and everything for the classroom. Honestly, I don't envy you guys. You guys are a much stronger person than I am. I mean that wholeheartedly.
If I didn't teach a tested subject, meaning the state mandated tests, then it'd be chill. It wouldn't be chill, but it wouldn't be stressful. But we have to. The state decided that they're going to do their test this year for Algebra 1, and probably like half of my kids, they're not doing any work anyways. So and admin doesn't want to hear that crap. So it is what it is. You just do your best and lick your wounds, and
My one friend is a teacher at a school over in the Amsterdam area, and she told the classmates if she could get a hold of a PS5, she would bring it into class to show them. So she put a video or a picture on Twitter today of her playing Rocket League on the PS5 in her classroom.
Awesome.
Like that.
Amsterdam, as in over in Europe?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, when you said the Amsterdam area, that was just like, is Amsterdam a part of PA that I'm unfamiliar
I know,
No, I don't think she teaches right in Amsterdam, but somewhere around it.
Gotcha. But yeah, Coach, sorry, really quick. I host pub trivia once a week, and that's for adults who want to be there. And that's hard enough as it is. So the fact that you do it for kids is miraculous. That's really cool. Also, I'm sorry because you probably can't drink as much on stream as I can, and that really helps.
I could drink water in a mason jar with a little lemon.
Oh yeah, and some.
That's my drink of choice.
And some margarita mix.
Yes,
man,
virgin.
Yeah.
Man, it's water. Doesn't smell like vodka at all.
Yeah, it's super water. Yeah,
boys, it has been a long Thanksgiving / Black Friday week, and I think we all did some shopping.
Too much.
Yeah, sure.
Agreed.
Yeah,
in that. So I say we get right into it. Coach, let's start with you. What did you do for Black Friday?
Okay, so when I say Black Friday, I'm going to talk about Black Friday week, right? Because, especially this year, stores have been doing stuff for a couple weeks, as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did is in my theater room, I pulled out the screen and I pulled out the projector, and I bought a 70-inch OLED TV, right? And I did not want to pay $400 for a TV stand, right? So what I did is I went to Lowe's and I measured out. I got 2 pieces of it's 7 foot and it's 2x12s, and then I had to get a 2x4, I think it was, and just so I could fit the because I use cylinder blocks, so it works perfectly. I think it's redwood, but it smells so good. So I have my TV up there. And it took a while, but I finally was able to get a Series X, which delivered yesterday. So the first thing I did after setting it up is I put in Jedi Fallen Order, and it's so good to play that game again without the skips, without the frame skips, right?
Oh, hey.
So yeah,
I see what you did there.
Yes. So. But the games that I bought, and the Resident Evil series was really cheap during Black Friday week. So I picked up 0 and 1, okay, the remake, the remaster remake, and then I got 2, 3, and then 4. I picked up Tomb Raider, Rise, and Shadow. Let's see what else. Doom Eternal was pretty cheap. I picked that one up.
That has been a popular game on this podcast recently.
Right?
Which
one?
Rise and Shadow.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And let's see. So some of my my non-actual games I picked up. I picked up a 400 gig mini SD card for my Switch.
Nice.
So
I wanted to get one of those.
Yeah, because I had a 4 gig laying around, so I was going to use that until Black Friday. So and it's cheap too. It wasn't that expensive. And then I got steelbook versions of The Grinch, the CGI animated movie. And
have you seen that one yet?
Yes.
How is it?
It's good. I like it.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to.
And then Mulan. I got the steelbook case for Mulan. And lastly, I picked up the 4K versions of all Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
God, those are such good
Can
movies.
I ask, just, I feel bad talking about money on this podcast, but just out of curiosity, can you ballpark how much the Harry Potter ones were?
Oh, the Harry Potter. Okay, I thought you meant the TV.
Still 1,000.
Let me see. I'm trying to remember.
Just because I feel like 4K prices are so swingy. Like, it's either like, I can't believe it's this cheap, or it's like $150.
I don't think it was over $100. I think it was right around 100, maybe.
All right. So
I
that's
mean,
like,
also keep in mind it's 8 movies. So.
Yeah.
So, but the next one I want to get, it comes out this month, is Lord of the Rings on 4K.
Yes, I think that's out now.
Nice.
Is it? I know that they were doing pre-orders.
Yeah, one of my friends on Twitter posted today, like, of him holding his case of it.
Okay.
I swear to God, if they release one more version of those films where the director's cut are on 2 separate discs, I'm gonna
still buy them.
My God mind. It has been 20 years of them releasing them on 2 discs for the director's cut. Get your stuff together, Austin. Sorry. Get your stuff together.
I'm trying over here, George.
And put your super long movies on these extended discs on a single disc. Just do it on a single disc. It's time. I'm sick of it.
You know what they're going to start doing is like selling them on like terabyte external hard drives, and it's like one hard drive for every movie.
So I never bought the Blu-ray versions of those because I'm happy with the DVD version, because I bought the extended versions. The DVD it has that nice packaging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I never wanted to upgrade, but with the 4K I will, because someone said that they saw something. I think they saw a demo or something, and it looked amazing. So
now the big
Terminator
thing
2
I'm
4K
going to
is also excellent.
Terminator 2 is?
Oh.
Yeah,
I've
is
never seen the
excellent
Terminator
transfer.
movies.
That one's really good, and it's usually on sale
I've
for like under
never.
$15. So I recommend that one.
I want to see him sometime.
Did you like the last movie that just came out?
I didn't see it.
I heard
I'm
it was-
waiting. I'm waiting.
I heard it was pretty decent.
It was okay.
I remember.
I mean, like, I was entertained. You know, it was okay.
Sure. I mean, it looked better than Genesis or whatever.
Yeah. Salvation was the only Terminator movie I've ever seen. So
Jesus
that
Christ,
happened.
Elijah.
Wait, what?
I know.
Wait, say that again?
Salvation is the only Terminator movie I've ever seen.
You're disgusting.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it was just because it was at the drive-ins and there was another movie playing, so we stayed.
I thought you were going to say that you love the PS3 game so much.
No, I need the PS3 game just for an easy platinum.
Like,
but you should watch
easy,
like
man. I'm stuck on level 4. It's not that easy.
You should just rent them on like Amazon or something like that. I mean, those are
think
must.
They are
the first two. The first two are must watches.
Yeah, first two are iconic. They're incredible.
Yeah, I think the first two are on Prime, just to watch.
Yeah, I think they are.
Watch them, man. They're great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up, Austin. What about you? What shopping did you do?
So it was kind of unique because I really have not purchased many games at all like the last couple of years. And I was going into this like thinking, yeah, I might get like a game or two. And then I ended up still spending like $200. So, which is like a lot for me. But I bought, I started off, this was before Black Friday, but they had the sales already on PSN. So I bought Control Ultimate Edition for $20.
Woo.
I was kind of holding off on that because I wanted the one that could get the PS5 upgrade at some point. Whether you are a fan of how they handled that or not, I have not played the game.
So,
and
quick side note with that whole thing. So, if you really think about it, so they said The Witcher 3 is getting an upgrade as well.
Right.
Didn't they say The Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition is getting the upgrade and not the original Witcher?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the Game of the Year has all the DLC, right?
Yeah, but that's exactly what they did for Control too.
Yeah, but also it doesn't matter because you can get the Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition for like a bologna sandwich in exchange. Like it feels like they just give that game away every time there's a sale.
I think they're kind of doing that with Control now as well. Because
because it like suddenly dropped.
Yeah, the Ultimate Edition came out in October.
Yeah, and it was $20. So, which is pretty good because I think was it 40 when it came out, the Ultimate Edition?
Yeah.
So I bought that. I'm really excited to play it. I loved Alan Wake.
Amazing.
So I'm excited to dig into that. I bought Resident Evil 3 finally for $15 at Best Buy. I was really happy with that one. Really good price. What else did I get? I bought 3 Nintendo Switch games. I bought Yoshi's Crafted World.
Love it.
New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe and Luigi's Mansion 3 were all $30 each at Walmart. So not my favorite prices, but they were at least less than $60, which is like unheard of for Nintendo games.
Yeah, I mean that's the cheapest they've been since they came out. So that's really good. And most places I saw had Luigi's Mansion 3 at $40. So like that's like the best deal for that game.
Well, that's like I picked up on Black Friday a number of years ago, Twilight Princess for Wii U for $25.
Yeah,
and like I've never seen it that price since then again. And that was years before I even had a Wii U. I'm just like, I know I'll want this at some point. It's never going to be this price again.
Bring back Player's Choice, Nintendo. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Right? Why haven't they done that? That's so weird.
Because look at how much they're still selling these games.
That's true.
Why would they drop the price? People are still going to pay it.
And Donkey Kong, still $60.
Yeah, Coach was telling me about this. What was it? This meme that he saw? It was like breaking Nintendo holds emergency meeting to decide if they can.
Yeah,
12-hour meeting to decide if they can sell Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for less than $60.
Yeah, I saw that. That was great.
Is that hard times? Yeah, they're good.
So let me ask you guys this, because Austin got some Resident Evil.
Yeah.
What's the next game that Capcom will remake? Will it be 4 or will it be Code Veronica?
Supposedly they are working on 4.
Yeah, I heard those rumors.
And this is from people who are like, yeah, just so you know, they're doing 3, and then later 3 was announced.
Well, no, there was a huge leak at Capcom, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and good point.
Supposedly, based off that leak, which I'm not a fan of, like, because that was like a criminal leak, like somebody got into their servers. So I'm not a huge fan of like talking about this stuff publicly. But just for the purpose of this conversation, the leak did say Resident Evil 4 is being remade in VR. Specifically VR.
And wasn't it aiming for like 2023, or am I like it's not like on the
might
horizon?
Have been. Yeah, I think it's a little ways off if I remember right.
I just know it's giving me a reason to buy Resident Evil 4 for an 18th time.
But the way it was worded, it made it sound like it was VR only.
Yeah.
Like that would be the only way to play, which I would be okay because that's a unique way to play that game.
Yeah, what a cool way to have a heart attack alone in your office.
Right.
Yeah. What an
well, you gotta remember though, Resident Evil 4 wasn't as scary.
Yeah.
No, but granted, in VR, it would still be moments of, oh my God.
Right. Yeah.
Especially that first part in the town where it's just like, I locked myself in the house, ringing, and just in VR, just.
Well, that I think it's
scariest
probably
part.
not as scary because that's like the one everyone's played, like, and that's also like the most replayed, most re-released one. And I think that's why Resident Evil 2 was scary because that was on like N64 and PlayStation. You know, like not everyone has those memories. Whereas like RE4 came out on literally everything.
Literally everything.
And you know what's awesome about that time period when it came out is Nintendo gave away good, pre-sale or what do you call it?
Like that demo,
the pre-order bonus.
Pre-order bonus. It wasn't like skins or anything, of course.
Yep.
So you pre-order Resident Evil 4. They handed me the demo disc. Like GameStop already had the demo disc.
Yep.
So I took it home and I was playing. And it's only up to the point where the guy rings the bell, right?
Yep.
For the town.
Yep.
And the first time I died by the sack man, I thought that was the best way that I have ever died in a video game. I thought that was freaking phenomenal. I loved it. It was like a highlight of my video game, past was playing the demo and just being blown away by it.
I'm sorry, when you said Sack Man, my mind went to Sack Boy. And I was just imagining like Sack Boy with a chainsaw like killing people.
Running around this little dude.
I thought about him like having like a Garden State like movie. Like he just comes back home after like 15 years, completely despondent to his environment. He's just trying to readjust. I'll be honest with you guys. I've never played more than like a half hour of Resident Evil 4. I don't really do the spookies with games very well. But as a Christmas present to this podcast, the two games I'm going to beat before the 25th of December are Resident Evil 4, the Wii edition, because I know exactly where that is.
Good one.
Yeah.
And
when are you going to start it?
And Demon Souls. How long is it? It's like a 12-hour
No, when
game.
are you going to start it?
When am I going to start it?
Right now.
Probably soon. Yeah.
Literally right now.
Probably this week. Like my restaurant I was working at cut its hours down just because it's Maine and December. I'm a server and phone person, bartender person. And we're cutting our hours down. So I've just got a lot of free time now. So I'm planning out. I'm going to take like the month of December off basically just to catch up on stuff. But I'll do Resident Evil 4 for you guys.
Do it. Like the scariest part about Resident Evil 4 is 1, the regenerators, and 2, that one freaking guy that pops out of the oven at one point towards the end of the game.
Okay. I will look out for
oven
men and regenerators.
I'm also very excited for you to experience Leon. Help!
The whole game.
No, not the whole game. Just most of the game.
A lot of it.
Which one is the best version of them all? Is it the Wii version?
I think it's the Wii one because I think it has all the extra content they added for the PS2 version as well.
People generally recommend the Wii version, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. So I got that. I got the GameCube version, and I think I bought it on PS3. Like, I mean, that's just like a game that's always like $6.99 or $7.99 or something. And like, I'll always get drunk and be like, "Yeah, it's finally my time to play it," and I'll buy it, and then I just like I'll start it up and be like, "Nope, I don't want to, not today." Like, it's sun's gonna be setting in like an hour and a half. I can't deal with this right now.
And like Coach was saying, that's like the scariest part of the game is the beginning, and then it gets like much easier to handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they changed it. They changed the controls, right? Yep. The tank controls. They listened to everybody, and that's where it started to migrate. Now, the only thing that I was disappointed with the game was the quick time events. Pressing the A button, spamming it. It's like, Come on, man.
Sure, but that wasn't very common back then, right? Like it was like that.
No,
and,
that was one of the first games
and,
I think
God
to
of
really
War
do it.
were like the two games that I can remember seeing.
Yeah.
Now, before we continue on, we do have some from the community. We asked about Black Friday shopping. So let's start with me losing my spot. There we go. From Nature Hoot says, Black Friday, nothing. But I am going through the Cyber Monday stuff on Xbox to test out Series X performance. Got the Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition plus Skyrim Special Edition bundle. Because, wow, my phone is freaking out right now. Okay, there we go. Because Skyrim runs 60 with a mod and Fallout 4 is getting a patch. Got Madden 21. Its next gen patch is the 4th. Great, so it can disappoint me in next gen.
Woo!
And Squadrons. Squadrons, he doesn't mention here, but basically they are giving it an update. I'm not sure exactly when, and it'll run at 120.
Yeah,
awesome.
I need to get Squadrons on Xbox.
Awesome.
He also got Fallout 3 and all DLC, and New Vegas DLC, and has Control in his cart. Again, Control. I cannot recommend that game enough. It is amazing.
I'm so excited to get into that game.
I'm so excited to try Madden on PS5. Just like that game was a buggy, glitchy mess.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too that the first time they like really strayed in like cover design too, like that's when the game kind of fell apart. Like I'm not saying the two are related. I'm absolutely not saying that. But the first time they did something interesting, and like I don't know if I like or dislike the new cover design for like all the 21 sports games. But like it's at least like attention grabbing. Like I'll give it that. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if it's good or not. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, oh man, this is when every game fell apart except for like NHL, which was like the only game they didn't talk about at their E3 press conference.
I feel like generally NHL is like a 6, and Madden and FIFA are like an 8 or 9. Yeah. But this year NHL is still a 6. It didn't change whatsoever. And FIFA and Madden are like 4 or 3.
Just do what the cool kids do, guys. Just play Madden 2013 on your Vita.
Not only that,
but Megatron on the cover.
Yeah, that's a good one. But also, I think like 6 or 7 or 8. You know, right there in the mid turn of the century, whatever. I guess. Yeah. It was. Those were one of the best ones. Before.
5 had the best soundtrack.
At the beginning of the pandemic, I ordered from a local shop in Maine and got it shipped out to California when I lived out there. And I got ESPN NFL 2K5 with T.O. on the cover.
Yeah, I had that one too.
Games were so good.
Yes.
Well, that was the one that came out at like $20 and was just like slapping its on the table, telling EA to get in the way or get out.
Well, what started out, Randy Moss was the first one, right?
I think so, yeah. And that was back.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And that was like him stalling the Vikings.
Yeah. Actually, I think I have that game back there somewhere. Or over somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have that game.
I got it too. Nice. And like those games were great.
Oh yeah.
But the NHL on the Dreamcast, that was my jam for like 93, 94, 95-ish. I played that game.
NHL 93 on Genesis is like one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
Like that one's good. Madden 94 is incredibly good.
I would say NHL 94 is the one I always hear about. In fact, they still do tournaments at PAX.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like that's the one that I hear from and I guess they did a thing. You can buy it separately, but if you pre-ordered the new NHL, you got, was it like NHL 94 Remix or something like that for free?
Oh, that's super cool.
And
that's awesome.
It's like, it's all the new players. Like, it's new rosters and everything. But in NHL 94. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's dope. I think you just convinced Coach to grab that.
like I said, I think you can buy it separately now. So I kind of want to do that.
Can you buy Modern Warfare separately now, or do you still have to buy...
I think so.
I think you can get the campaign separately, yeah.
Yeah, the remaster?
Yeah, because originally, because the first one came with Infinite Warfare.
Yes.
And now you can get it
Which, by the way, it's hilarious how much that game has like just dropped in value. Because I guess it's because everyone bought it for Modern Warfare, and now it's like the cheapest of every Call of Duty game that's released on
that game's like
gen.
Great, though. Like
that game is really good.
One of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns
Infinite Warfare?
ever.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, the one with like Kit Harington as
have
the
it.
bad guy. That game's
Yep.
that game's awesome. That game is so good.
All
I
I,
have it, but I haven't actually played the campaign in it, so maybe I'll do that.
all I
one day.
remember is at the end stabbing him and yelling, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," and that's like what I remember.
Yeah,
at the end
Kit
of it.
Harington was the bad guy, but like you got to like choose your missions on where you
Yep.
wanted to go, and there was like
I remember that.
space missions where you were like in a fighter jet, like
Yep.
in space,
Yeah.
and so it was basically like a mini like Rogue Squadron level. It was really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a really fun game.
Recommend.
Now, was the original Black Ops, was that ever remade or remastered, or is
No.
that just a rumor?
No.
That was just on PS3 360.
Yep.
Which I don't.
So.
That one probably should be remastered because like I think the story is dope, but like man,
Oh yeah.
that is some jank PS3 era game. Like I replayed
Yes,
it.
it
or
is.
I played it for the first time last year before, and I'm like playing through Black Ops 2 now for the first time, like getting ready for Black Ops Cold War. And man, it is just night and day between how pretty Black Ops 2 is and how just
hmm
ugly.
Oh, Black Ops 2 was gorgeous. I remember
Black Ops.
loving that game.
It's still gorgeous. Like playing on like my 1080p TV from 10 years ago, I'm like still like this looks
Yeah.
incredible. But Black Ops 1, man, that is a low poly count they gave everyone. in
Yeah,
that
it
game.
Has Cold War released?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
It got pretty good reviews overall.
Yeah, I played the
People
first
seem to like it.
couple missions. I like it, but honestly, I really just wanted like a linear Call of Duty game where they like told me a story as opposed
Yeah.
to like
There you
me
go.
making choices. Like it's kind of like choose your own adventure-y. And so like there
Right.
was like one mission where like the first mission where I was like tracking down someone to get info on someone else, and then like I had a choice of like I could throw him off the building, I could capture him, or I could just like shoot him in the head or just like let him go or whatever. And I was like, this is really cool for Call of Duty, but also I really just kind of wanted my Michael Bay movie. Like I kind of just wanted
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
sit back and see
That's like
pretty stuff happen on my screen.
people can say what they want about like Call of Duty campaigns or that, but I always love playing them just because it's like I'm just playing a Michael Bay movie, and
Yeah,
They're
I'm,
fun
I'm okay
action.
with that. Yeah.
Like
well,
they're-
the way that you
they're
explained
awesome-
it, it
they're
sounds
awesome
like
fun.
yeah. The way you just explained it sounds like a first-person Splinter Cell game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess I don't think it's as in depth
Espionage
as
and all that, you know.
But yeah, you're like working with the CIA trying to track down a terrorist and all this stuff. And we had like our PS5 first week impressions podcast come out last week, and Fabio has spent so much time with Call of Duty. And Fabio, I love him, my beautiful little leftist Costa Rican beautiful angel boy. He was really happy because he was like, I thought this game was just going to be sucking Ronald Reagan's the entire time, but you can actually frame him for war crimes by the end of it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't see that coming from Call of Duty. Like, that's cool. Sorry, Austin. I just saw that face. My bad.
Can I just say, sorry, this is way off topic, but I know that's what this episode is supposed to be.
Yep.
In case you guys haven't noticed, this episode is going to be very like non-structured, but I just want to say I listened to your episode. I loved it. I love Fabio. Can we please have him on the show at some point?
Oh, absolutely.
'Cause I
Yeah,
want to talk
he's,
to that man.
he's great. Yeah.
He's awesome.
I met him. I was doing work for a website called Pulp 365 a couple of
Mhm.
years ago, and that was like some old guy from IGN, Sean Allen, started that website.
Mhm.
And Fabio managed to get tickets to like E3 that year, but didn't have a place to stay. And I was like, I don't know who this person is. Screw it. Yeah, you can crash with me. How much money do I like? Don't you don't owe me money? Just bring me like a 12-pack or a 30-pack so we can drink together. And that dude has like since become one of my best friends. Like talk to him on the
Yeah.
phone like once a week. And
No, he sounded like a cool guy just listening to the
I
show.
love
So
him. He's so sweet.
Yeah, because I was saying I had first listened to him because him and George did a podcast together for a
Mhm.
bit, and I would listen to it every week. And I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah. He's the best of us. And he's so handsome too. God, I love that man. I love that man. Sorry.
Before we move on, I just want to say, since we all have the good feels, the way that I met Austin back in the day is through our little gaming community, but where we really got to know each other was on Google Hangouts. And this reminds me of Google Hangouts, man. The way that Zoom is set up and everything. So
yeah.
yeah, this is good times.
No,
It is.
me too. Like, you guys have had Ray Apollo on, and like, I
Yep.
first met
Oh, yeah.
Ray through like the Podcast Beyond Facebook group, and he's just like, "Yo, who wants to do a podcast?"
Beyond.
And I was like, "I want to do a podcast." And like Ray and I just did a podcast together with our friends Rohan and Taryn,
Yep.
And we did
Really?
it,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we
Yep.
did it for like a year and a half, 2 years.
And I know Rohan and Taryn. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Round the Mania? Yeah, Taryn Qual.
Yeah, because we were all in that Vita group. Because all of us were like the main people in that group.
Yep.
That's how I really got to know everybody. So
Yeah, I listened to that podcast too.
Yeah.
So some dude in the Vita group got a picture of me, Austin, Elijah, and Seth. We took a picture over at PAX, right?
it was with Greg Miller. We were all with them.
Greg Miller. And he was like, I guess everybody was bashing this kid or whatever. So he pulled it and he quickly put gay.
He just like wrote "gay" across the picture of us,
Bro,
and like
that
posted
was
it
the
at the
best.
response. And
That
we were
was
like,
the best, man.
"That is so stupid."
It was the best because it was out of nowhere.
Was that was that at PAX proper, or was that at that weird like underground bar that Colin wanted everyone to go to?
No, it was not proper.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Austin wasn't old enough to go to a bar then.
Okay, because I was like,
18.
I went to that bar with Rohan and Ray. that was when I met Elijah.
While we were in the fields,
How'd you guys meet?
I think Elijah and I met through like random, like just
happenstance.
mutual friends, and just like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, this guy consistently says stuff I agree with and appreciate on Twitter. Follow. Like, I really think it was that simple.
So, George, how often do you go to PAX?
I've only been the one time when I was living in Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, that one he was with us. That was his only one.
Yeah.
While we're in the fields, I've been listening to the old episodes of R&M, and it took 7 episodes between me and Coach both starting to actually be on one together.
Oh,
Wow.
Was it really?
Yeah. Episode 17 was our first one on, and episode 10 you came on, and then it was me, and then you, me, and then us.
Well, I'm going to break the whole good feels. I was on the bench for like a year waiting to get on the damn podcast.
Look, we needed some part-time fill-ins.
Well, you had what's his face, little kid with the glasses. What was his name? The one that no one knows where he's at anymore.
Scott?
Yes, Scott.
Little kid?
Well, he was a little man. He was a little
like
guy.
35.
yeah. Sorry, you said
Well,
little
he's a
kid. You
little
said
guy.
little kid with glasses. I'm like, Austin is right here, man. Like, I don't know.
He was like 5 years younger than you at the time.
So he's still 5 years younger than me now.
Oh my God.
And in fact, fun fact, he is the one that he responded to one of my videos, and that's how I was able to meet you guys, is through him. So
Right.
yeah, I was like, when you guys picked him, I'm like, I kept it on the DL, but I'm like, WTF, man.
Well, let me just say that George has already assimilated into the show much faster than you and Elijah did.
Yes.
So
It's very
if
true.
that proves anything,
I actually will always
Proof is in the
remember
pudding, right?
the very first episode I was on. I think it was still Gaming Arena Central.
I think you're right.
God,
Because-
I'm sorry, that is such a terrible name.
you're-
Like Retro Modern is awesome, but Gaming Arena Central, that just sounds like a public access gaming show that would air at 12:30 in the morning, only in Vancouver. Like that's just like it's just. I'm sorry.
It's true.
No, it's fine. That
I love
podcast
you.
was a train wreck.
I love you so much. I'm sorry.
Well, you had Eric with his intro.
I think that was even before Eric.
Was it?
Yeah.
Eric was on Gaming Arena Central after Chris left.
Okay, so it
We
was
kind of
before that.
rebranded.
Because Chris was on the episode I was on. Because I specifically came on to talk about trophies and achievements. Because I remember we recorded it. I was at Susquehanna University hanging out with my friends that night.
I remember
And I'm
you
like,
said that.
Sam, I have to commandeer your room for a little bit. I'm going to record this. And she's like, all right, fine. Good old times.
Anyways.
Yes. Also, we have from Pedro. I cleaned up on Black Friday. I picked up Yoshi's Woolly World, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, best one, Mario Tennis Aces, Link's Awakening, Kingdoms of Amalur, Star Wars Squadrons, Man of Medan, Gears 5, Team Sonic Racing, Catherine Full Body. Don't need to buy any game
Good
for a long
Lord.
while.
Well, Gears 5 was
Wow.
like $10 or less. Like that game was on Super. I almost
Yeah.
bought it a second time because I left it in my storage unit in California. I'm like, but I never
Yeah.
finished it. for
Don't
less
you have
than
Game
$10.
Pass, Elisha?
I do, but you know,
Look to the
behind
library.
me.
Game
Look
Pass.
behind me.
Yeah.
$5.
Is that all Gears? I can't see it. Just
No, but it's just all games.
It's just a huge.
it's just all copies of Gears 5. I just buy every one I can.
Well,
I
there is
clean
Elijah's-
out every Best Buy
well,
in the area.
Gears the series.
Time
you
out.
know.
There was that art exhibit in Los Angeles where someone like found an old like video rental place and just filled it with like
Yeah.
3,000 copies of Jerry Maguire on VHS.
I saw that.
And so, like, what if that was Elijah's game collection? It was just 3,000 copies of Gears of War. And he's like, oh, I finally got 5. Yeah, I just wanted to check it out.
No, yeah,
I'm a huge Gears of War fan. Buying Gears of War 5 2 years later.
it was $5 at Best Buy, so I'm like, yeah, I'm grabbing it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So
Oh, that's cool. I was thinking about possibly getting the physical copies, but I just got rid of a lot of my cases because I had to trim the fat basically here at the house. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that one.
You should have sold those on eBay, man. Like a whole bunch of game collectors, I'm sure, are looking.
Oh yeah, case.
Yeah.
Cases.
Depending on the games, especially the cases, because how many of them were Nintendo games?
Well, a lot of them were. I went to the cover project and printed it out, and then
Oh, okay.
just got it. Like I would go into Dallas when I go to reserves. When I go into Dallas, I'll go to this used gaming store where I'll buy like 10 different Maddens for like $1.99. So
Nice.
I got to
Coach
kind of
loves
scrub.
Madden.
Yeah, I know, right? So I got to scrub all the stickers and stuff off. But that's what I use because it's hard to find.
Coach,
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. Do you have any tips? I'm looking at my game collection now for the first time. Like it's all together under one roof. It's beautiful. But like so many things were bought at GameStop when they would put like the price sticker on the actual
Peanut butter.
cover art.
Peanut
Right.
butter.
On the
Oh.
Butter, then
like
then
on
lick
the,
it
on,
off.
the, on the on the paper insert.
Oh, on the paper insert.
Oh.
Yeah. Like it
I
should
mean-
be it's a war crime that they allowed people to do that
Yeah.
and that they
You
encourage
might
people
want to
do that.
check. Peanut butter might still work. I don't know how the greases will affect, because the whole idea is like, I'm not kidding, peanut butter for the
Yeah,
stickers because the grease like cuts
Yeah, I
into
assume
the
the
sticker.
oil
Yeah.
cancels out the adhesion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just so
Yeah, I don't know about on the.
Oh,
This
that's probably early GameStop too when they were doing
See,
that crap.
mid-range GameStop, they did good because they had the sticker on the inside, but it was still like on the sticker
just, like-
sheet. They just like
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuck
so you
it
could
in
just
there.
slide
You
it
could
out. It was
flip-
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys have been in a GameStop recently, so maybe this is an old thing or new thing. I don't know, but I
It's new.
realized they basically do like Blockbuster used to now, where they have like filler cases.
Yep.
And so they don't stick anything on the
No.
games anymore, or open the games. They're all
Yeah.
kind of in the back. So and just fake cases
I
are up in
wanna
the
say
front, which
it's-
is neat.
The top 100 of each console they have out, and anything else like, I could go in. They might not have No Man's Sky on the shelf, but you would have to ask like, do you have No
Right.
Man's Sky for PS4? And they'd be like, let me see, and check the system. Like, yeah, we
Yeah.
have. Let me go get you one.
I do kind of miss the days of just being able to see like tons of games in there, but
And
I'm glad they're at least not like ruining cases anymore.
yes, I'm kind of torn because one of my favorite things, and granted, this saves me money, is I'd be
Yeah.
like, let me just go to GameStop and see what I can find.
Yeah.
And I would just walk in, and be like, I'm like, oh, this
Right.
looks cool, and grab it
Well,
off
it's
the
like
shelf.
that. And it's just like, oh my god, like a whole DS game in its original case. Like I would buy. Like I don't really care for the Castlevania games, but like the amount of Castlevania games I've purchased because like they had it full, complete, original, and it was like, yeah, the stickers on the outside. That's easy to clean. Like I'll just get some rubbing alcohol and take care of that. Like that's great.
Right.
And it's just all these games I didn't care about, but I'm like, this will look so cool in my collection.
Yeah, so remember in the early like 2012, 11, around there, what was popular was dumpster diving.
Yeah,
Like people would make YouTube videos, like OK Chief and others would make videos, and they got tons of views too, like thousands, where they would go in and they would go into a dumpster at GameStop and pull out all these cases. And, a lot of it was filler, but every once in a while they would find a system, and it might be broke, but they would try and, get it fixed or something like that. So, there's the whole landscape of video games has freaking changed this decade, right? Like, well, I guess we're 2020 now, but last decade.
Well, I feel like it's changed like 6 times since last decade too. Like, it's it's always it's just like, this is in vogue now. No, it's not. And I'm like, oh, now we have a deep appreciation for this. No, we don't. Like, that sucks. And now it feels like it flip flops. Like, every 3 years, there's just like a new Marie Kondo-esque like philosophy that just sort of like disseminates across like gaming culture, and then it's just like up to you to be like, no, that's stupid, because I know it's going to change in about 14 minutes. So I'm just going to stay strong.
I will say this about right now. At the beginning of last generation, I was whining and crying and screaming about publishers and how they were selling these games that were broke and they wouldn't say anything, right? But I think they got that under control. And I think for this new generation, I think it's going to be a smooth transition as far as, you know, a lot of companies are like CD Projekt Red. If you buy Cyberpunk, you'll get a free update, whether it's next year or 2022, but you'll get a free update for the next gen, right? So I think this is a good time for gaming right now. I think it's the best that it's been in a while. I really like it. The only thing that's being messed up is all these bots that are resellers buying thousands of PS5 and Xbox One. So it's been a struggle just seeing people on Twitter struggle with it, you know. So, but I really like where gaming is going right now, especially with Game Pass. You know, you don't. It's good.
Also, Coach, I don't know if you've been listening to like the previous episodes or not, but for the longest time, I was making fun of. Oh, Austin's shaking his head no. All right, no. That's fine. I don't listen to him either.
He says with a tear in his eye.
I spent like the past couple weeks like making fun of smart delivery for Xbox, just being like, yeah, man, when I buy a game on my phone, I don't expect to download like the Windows version on my phone. Like, I expect to download the iPhone version on my iPhone. That said, I've been apparently playing the PlayStation 4 version of Sackboy: Big Adventure on my PlayStation 5. So it seems like smart delivery was not just a dumb idea where they were trying to like do it's toasted for video games. So that is my formal apology to the people at Microsoft for smart delivery. That was a great idea. I wish others in the industry would listen to you and follow suit.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Why is it even an option for me to play the PlayStation 4 version when I put the PlayStation 5 disc into my machine? What's going on, Sony? What's going on?
Right. So the biggest updates for Microsoft have been Gears 5 and Master Chief Collection. So even though Microsoft doesn't have that big software title for this launch, you can still go back and play these amazing games that have been released the last few years and get that update.
Which is super compelling, because it's like, hey, I just have to buy a machine. I don't have to buy software for it.
Yeah.
Well, I have all these new games that I haven't played yet for my Xbox, but I threw in Jedi Fallen Order because now I'm playing again, and there's, as much as I love that game, it was too powerful for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X.
Super choppy.
Yeah, but now it's just smooth.
And that's the same thing with Control. That game, playing it on, and I guess PS4 Pro and Series X weren't much better. But like, if you were to bring up the map, it'd be like, press the map button. Map loads in.
Yeah.
All right, you need to pause the game. Pause the game. All right, I'm done. Unpause it. Okay, you can play now.
You like actually had a chance to check your like text messages, which you don't really have on PlayStation 5.
I kind of noticed this recently though with Assassin's Creed Odyssey on PS4 Pro. I don't know if that's the only system this is a problem on, but when you're in the skill tree menu, when you like move to the other like sections of the skill tree, it like goes to like 5 frames a second, and it like just slugs over to like the next section of the skill tree. It's awful, and I don't know why it's like that.
Did that on my launch.
Because it's like a menu.
Did that on my launch PS4. It was, the menu navigating was worse than like the actual world navigating. It was,
which I don't
bizarre.
get. Like, there's nothing intense about a menu. So
that's one of the main reasons I gladly upgraded to new gen, is just everything, even from PS4, just so smooth. Now,
have you guys played Valhalla yet? Any of you guys?
Not yet.
Yes, that is all I've been playing this past week.
Okay, so tell us about it. I mean, like, because I hear mixed feelings about it. So let's get your point of view.
Valhalla. I think it's really, really good. I just don't know if I like it yet. And like the gameplay itself is super smooth. They introduced like a weird health system that feels like the Eustace flask from
Dark Souls.
Oh.
Where you have like health that you can like go out and find in the world, so it's not like super limiting, but it's just the fact that like you get like a limited amount of health that you can like replenish during a fight. So the fights are a little tougher because you have like that system where you can just heal up in the middle. But then as soon as like you're out of health during like a boss battle, like I was just playing a mini boss that I found in the world that killed me like 4 times in a row, and I was just like, this sucks. I really like the game. But for me, it's just, I wish it felt a little bit more video gamey. Like, it felt like they were going for a more, like, naturalistic take. Not in the same way that, like, Ghost of Tsushima was, where they were going for, like, completely fluid, like, you don't know what's UI and what's actual, like, game navigation. But this feels like they're trying to tell, like, a more cinematic story. But they sacrificed a lot of elements that I liked in Odyssey, where when you accomplish something in the world map, it just disappears from the map and it becomes like a gray X on the area. So like you have no idea what it was if you can't remember what it was, but it's just gone from the map forever. And so because of that, like at least in Odyssey, I know you could like cycle things you've done, things you haven't done, and you could have both on the map. But like you could see like, okay, this entire province is grayed out. That means I did everything. And they're all points of light in the new game. So there's like 3 different things an item on a map could be. It could be an artifact, it can be a world mystery, or it could be wealth. And so like a wealth is like a loot chest of like great significance. A world mystery is like a mini quest. Like they don't call them side quests in this game, but it's just like little things that could take anywhere from 30 seconds to 15 minutes to do. And then artifacts, which is how you get like slightly more powerful items to upgrade your character. And so I really like the game, but the actual like interacting with the game I find a little frustrating just because it's a little disorganized compared to Odyssey. That said, I spent over 150 hours in Odyssey, so like I think I just got really comfortable in that system, and this is new. I will say the only thing I don't like so far is I chose to play as like female Ivor. I don't think the characters are any different between male or female, just like they weren't any different in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The voice acting is incredible, but I don't like how angry my character is all the time. Like Cassandra was at least like fun-loving and like loved living, and Ivor is just angry all the time at everything. And I get it; she's had a hard life, so like I'm not knocking her. Like I totally get why she's pissed. But it's also like you don't find joy in anything really, at least yet. So like I have a hard time just like doing stuff that's like non-violent with her. Just 'cause I'm like, well, you're super pissed all the time. All you want to do is just chop heads off, and she's very good at chopping heads off. This game is gory as hell. It's great.
Well, I was gonna say that's kind of, as far as her character goes, that's kind of the dilemma I always had with Kratos, like in the old God of War games. Not so much the new one because they did a great job with his character, but it was just like, he's just angry all the time. Like I really don't care about his character because of that.
Yeah.
There's no like personality to him. It's just anger. And I'm sure this is a little different. I'm sure there's more than that for this character, but it was kind of a similar issue for me with old school Kratos, at least.
I don't understand when I've accomplished something and when I haven't accomplished something. I think that's like my biggest takeaway, because like I love playing Ubisoft games for the checkboxes. Like I love completing areas. Like that's very therapeutic. Like it really helps with my anxiety, even just to be like, oh, I've accomplished something. But like you can like go around on your long ship and just like see a little area controlled by a group of enemies and hit triangle, and that lets you raid the base. But there's no way to know you've finish the raid. It's just like, oh, I've killed everyone, I've looted all the treasure, but like you don't get like that sense of satisfaction of like completing an area. So then at the end you're just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go back to my ship now and leave. And I think I did what I was
a little
supposed
unfulfilling.
to. Yeah,
Almost.
like I think I did everything I was supposed to do, but I don't know if I did, and it's not telling me if I did. And another thing that's really annoying is that if you start like a side quest, like the world mysteries or whatever, and if your character moves, it'll show up on the map where the quest started, but not where the character went. So like you have to pay attention at every single thing. Like I lost the dude I was supposed to follow in a crowd, and then I caught up with him, but because I didn't walk with him to the area I was supposed to walk with him to, I had to like reset the area. Like I had to like fast travel somewhere else and then fast travel back and then start the quest over again to reset him where the quest was supposed to start, and then stick with him running through the crowd to catch up with him. And so it's just stuff like that where it's like it only shows you where something starts, not where like the present quest is. And it's just, I feel like that was something they did in the last game, so I don't know why they took it away, because that felt like good design, and this feels like, yes, more natural design, but a worse video game because of it.
Now, here's the thing. How did they handle that in Origins?
I can't remember. I haven't
The
played that
reason
game
I ask,
in 3 years.
this is the team that made Origins, not the team that made Odyssey.
Which is weird, because I liked Origins more than Odyssey. I think Odyssey is the more fun game. I think Origins is the better game.
So what was the game before Origins? Was it Unity?
Syndicate.
Okay, Syndicate. So you remember they took a break right before Origins just to stop, because it was like that yearly thing and it was just getting, consumer burnout, right?
Yeah.
So do you like the change that it's made, the more RPG mechanics?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I platinumed Origins and Odyssey. Like, these games are incredible. And I played this game for 10, 15 hours. I 100%ed everything in the opening area. I only just saw like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like I only just saw the title screen after like 100%ing everything in the opening area. I just got to England. And so like, I know like I've barely seen anything that this game has to offer. So like maybe these things that I don't like will be changed through mechanics or through like, because they have such an incredible skill tree where it looks like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X. Like it is a very, very intricate leveling up mechanic. And so maybe some of the stuff I don't like will be changed there. Still holding out hope that it will be, but I am having fun. I just don't know if I like it as much as the previous games.
So you remember after 3, once they killed off Desmond, right? There was really no current day story, right? It was like silly what they were trying to do. So how do they approach the Templar versus Assassin in this trio of games, starting with Origins, Odyssey, and now Valhalla?
They've brought it back. There's like a central anchor character. I think her name is Ayla Hussein, I think is her name. Or Layla Hassan, I think might be her name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't spend very much time in modern day just because I think that's like the least interesting part of the games. Like I think if I had to choose between like, walking through the Crusades in like Constantinople or being in like a lab in 2020, I'm like, well, I mean, Constantinople's way cooler to me. But I am more interested, especially after the end of Odyssey, and like I played all the DLC. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of invested into the current story of games. And so far I've only gone to present day, I think twice in the game, but you can go at any time to like check emails and messages and sort of build out like the modern day story. I think it's like you press to like go to the main menu basically. And same thing in Odyssey where you can just go from Cassandra to the woman you're playing or experiencing the game through.
What do you think of Black Flag and Rogue?
I never really played Black Flag. I started Rogue. Well, Black Flag came out like right after I platinumed Far Cry 3. And that just felt like the exact same game, man. Just in third person. Like it was like the exact same, like, oh, I need to kill a lizard to expand my wallet. I'm like, I literally just did this, Chief. Like, slow your roll.
Right.
But I do want to go back to it. I had this crazy idea to platinum every Assassin's Creed game just because I loved Origins and Odyssey so much. I just know that there's like a lot of multiplayer with Assassin's Creed 4. So unless I can like convince Elijah to join me and fall down that rabbit hole.
Is there really?
You have to get to like level 60 in AC4.
It's crazy to think that Assassin's Creed used to have like that PvP multiplayer. I was like thinking about that the other day.
Well, it was super cool.
And it wasn't bad.
In like Brotherhood, where it's just like act the most like an NPC until you don't have to anymore. It's like, that's really interesting, man.
It was
like,
honestly
that's
pretty
different.
fun.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now,
you guys should do your pickups.
Yeah. I was actually just going to say, George, what did you pick up on Black Friday?
Oh, man, I picked up so much stuff in Black Friday week. I'm going to run through everything besides games first. So I'm a big comic book fan. I love Batman, but I didn't read anything between Nightfall, like when Bane broke Batman's back, and like Hush, basically. So I've been catching up by like buying old trades. And so from Batman, I finally completed Road to No Man's Land and No Man's Land, like when a giant earthquake comes through and just like cuts Gotham off from the rest of the world. So I completed that. I got a missing Red Hood volume for my Batman collection. Very happy about that. Nice. I got Batman Death and the Maidens, which is supposed to be like a good Ra's al Ghul story, so I'm excited for that. I bought a ton of movies, which I'm very excited for, because I didn't drink it all on Thanksgiving, but then I had like an existential crisis like Thanksgiving night and just drank and watched music videos until 6 a.m. And I found a whole bunch of movies on super cheap. So I got The Way Back, the Ben Affleck basketball coaching movie, which I've already watched. It was excellent. I grabbed Phantom Thread, the Blade trilogy, got some Christmas presents for people. And then I bought the missing like DC animated films for my collection.
Which ones?
I was missing Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. I was missing Death of Superman, and I was missing Batman Death in the Family, where it's like the like retelling that story about Jason Todd and the Joker, and like you actually get to like choose your own adventure, like if Jason dies or not, which was like pretty insane to me. And it comes with a whole bunch of
really?
Yeah, super cool.
That's why I didn't pick it up, man. I'm big on DC animated, and I'm like frustrated right now because their animated department is just like their big screen department. There's no direction right now. No one knows where it's going. No one knows what the story is. So when I saw that Batman one, I'm like, choose your own adventure. I'll pass.
Well, I liked it because that was what happened in the original story. Like there was literally like a 1-800 number you could call and vote to say like if Jason Todd lived or died. Like
that's awesome.
And so, like, by a margin of, like, 75 votes. Yeah, there was, like, a 1-800 number in the back of comics. Like, does Jason Todd live or Jason Todd die? Because he was the second Robin, and people didn't like him as much as Dick.
Right.
And they were just like, is it just the fact that he's a Robin, or is it the fact that, like, he's Jason and you don't like Jason? And people were just, like, by a vote of, I think it was 75, voted to kill Jason Todd.
Wow.
And then... like 8 months later, they brought in Tim Drake as like the third Robin, and everyone's just like, we love him, he's great. And then Jason Todd was dead for like 20 years, and then he finally came back in the Red Hood storyline. God, yeah, I got drunk and spent too much money on Black Friday. And I bought Battlestar Galactica, the entire series, because I don't only ever
nice.
Okay, which one? The old one or the newer one?
The newer one, because I only ever seen the first season. Okay. I remember liking it, and it was on sale for I think like $30 from Best Buy.
It's really good. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic show.
Yeah.
All right, I bought too many games. You ready?
Yes, go for it.
Here we go.
Sekiro Game of the Year edition.
Nice.
Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Remastered, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
Minecraft Dungeons.
I like that game.
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, because I want to replay that game, but I don't want to delete my save from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, because that is like I kicked in that game, and I want to go back to Kanto, but I don't want to delete my boys. Watch Dogs Legion.
Nice.
Wonderful 101 Remastered.
Really interesting.
Really excited to check that one out. I really like the animation style. It just looks like a fun, weird game. The Yakuza Remastered Collection, which I was so like that one already came in. I was so confused because it came with a whole bunch of games on like a little plastic or like a paper tray thing, and then it came with like a PlayStation 3 case.
Okay, so so do you know the story behind that?
I do not know.
Yakuza 5 is what the case is for. That game only ever came over here on PlayStation Store.
Okay.
It's not available physically. So
it's just a case, though, right?
Yeah, it's just a case.
It's just a placeholder on your wall.
Because in Japan, it was you could get it physically. But yeah, it's for because now you can have a case for every Yakuza game because you couldn't beforehand.
That's interesting.
Super cool. Let's see, Last of Us Part 2, which I've never played. Excited to jump into that. Need for Speed Heat. Kingdom Hearts,
good things.
all in one package, and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, buddy.
Nice. Those are all really good purchases.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and I tried to make a deal. I think the most expensive one I got was Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that one was like 30.
Yeah.
There's a couple other 30 games, but like I try. My rule is like I'll buy 4 games per year at full price, and then everything else has to be at least $20 off.
Right.
I only I paid 40 for one of my games, 35 for another, and I think the next most expensive one I bought was like 20.
Cool. Yeah, I was tempted by Neo 2. That one was $10, but then I saw that there was like a Neo and Neo 2 collection coming to PlayStation 5, and I was like, I'll just wait for that.
I have both of them. I've started both of them. I haven't beaten either of them, and I'm still going to get the PS5 one. 120 frames.
I was just going to say, tell us what you think about Ghostbusters when you play it, because I've never played that game, but everyone says that game is like a must play.
Yeah, I always hear very good things. Yeah. George, when you play Last of Us 2, I'm going to be very curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Without saying anything, do you know many of the story spoilers?
I have seen so many spoilers that I don't know what's true and what's not true. So I don't believe anything I've seen just because people are terrible, and I feel like they go out of their way to...
It's funny because you say, I don't believe anything I've seen. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm just seeing from The Force Awakens when Han goes, it's true, all of it.
It's kind of what I assume, but also, we talked about this previously, like, I like a good story in games, but like a good story is not like what makes me play a game. Like, as long as the game like feels good, because like there's a lot of good ways to like get a good story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like I'm not bummed out if like the video game doesn't have the best story. Like I don't need the story to compel me. Like as long as it's like fun to play, that's all I really care about.
That makes sense. Now, I will finish up with Black Friday pickups. Most of mine have arrived. Some of them haven't yet. So to start with the non-gaming related stuff, I got a bunch of 4K movies. Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Woo.
Which
nice.
I don't really care about the Marvel movies anymore, but I do still like the Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. Air Force One, because that movie is amazing, and I haven't seen it in like a decade.
Woo! That was the very first DVD I ever bought.
Really?
Yeah,
wow. That's awesome.
Was Air Force One with
Harrison Ford?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. District 9, which I think is like my 4th or 5th copy of it, because I'm just like, I don't have this on 4K yet, so
that movie is so good.
I have the PSP version of that movie downloaded on my PS3 because it came with the DVD. It's like I put the DVD in, and it's like, here's a version for you to put on your PSP. I'm like, no movie has ever done this before. Awesome.
Austin, I'm sorry in advance for the swear, but that's awesome. That is so cool and stupid. I love it. God, that's rad. That is just good.
I've never seen it again.
And I love it.
I also grabbed Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I somehow didn't own it yet. And I don't
have it yet either.
I grabbed the 4K version of Rogue One because that is my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's a really good one.
Did you get the Black Label ones?
The Rise of Skywalker one isn't, but the Rogue One is.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I remember when those recently came out. So I picked all of them up except for the last 2, only because I have all the Steelbooks as well. And the last 2 are 4K on Steelbook. And those 2 I don't think are worth buying again.
And the only other movie I got, I already own it on 4K, but I really, really wanted the Steelbook when it came out, but Best Buy never had it in stock.
Which one?
Birds of Prey.
Woo!
Oh. I finally got it. I love this movie. Like, it is one of my favorite movies of the past couple of years. And I'm so glad I finally have the Steelbook.
That and Sonic were the only 2 movies I saw in theaters this year.
Sonic was the only one I saw.
The only one I saw was the one with Christopher Nolan's movie,
Tenet?
Which you need to watch like 3 or... For me, I need to watch it probably like 3 or 4 times.
I do really want to see it.
I pre-ordered that on Black Friday too, because that comes out December 15th on Blu-ray and stuff.
That's where they'll make their money, because they released that right when theaters started to open up again.
Yeah.
So,
if theaters are open, I might be doing a double header on Christmas Day.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
And
Wonder Woman and Monster Hunter.
Oh God.
Monster Hunter comes out this year?
It comes out on Christmas Day.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, also, did you see HBO Max announced that Wonder Woman will be the very first 4K movie streamed on HBO Max?
That's awesome.
Which makes me kind of want to just do the free trial for that instead.
HBO Max.
It's a really good service. I have that.
Yeah.
I have it. And it's really good.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Also, if you're just like a nerd, like they have a selection that's like curated by TCM. Sorry, I don't mean like nerd, like the way we're nerds. I mean like a movie nerd. But like they have like an entire section that's just curated by Turner Classic Movies, and it's just like really good old movies that is just like interesting to watch.
I'll also be able to finally watch more Game of Thrones now. I've seen like 4 seasons.
They also have the Action Park documentary, so that's worth it a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah, I want to see that too.
Also, they all episodes of Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You lost me at both of them.
You were never into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I could never get into it.
Oh man, that was the jam in the 90s.
What did you do at midnight in 2004 if not watch Fresh Prince reruns on Nickelodeon?
I was 14 and I was sleeping
baby.
for school.
Lame.
That's what I was doing. Now, as for games I picked up, some of them aren't here yet. Yeah, I put an order through on the Square Enix store, and those games haven't shown up yet. It's Final Fantasy Chronicles on the PS1, Theaterism Final Fantasy Curtain Call on the DS. It's the second one, whichever one that is. The Kingdom Hearts All-in-One collection, because everywhere else was sold out of it by the time I got.
Do you want to be Kingdom Hearts buddies? Like we'll play through them together and have like a little book club?
I'm not even kidding.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back in about 4.5 years after you finish all of them.
Exactly.
And I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts.
I got Dragon Quest Heroes 2 and the Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition.
Nice. I wish I had bought that.
That's another one that's sold out like everywhere.
Is that a statue game? Does it come with a statue? Oh.
No, it doesn't. But it's the game plus all the DLC, which you can't just buy. Like, you can buy the DLC piecemeal, but you can't just get the season pass anymore. So
Doesn't make sense.
no,
Stupid.
No, it doesn't. But it was on sale for the same price on PSN. But if you get it physically, it also comes with the soundtrack. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Sweet.
Are they going to reboot that series, you think? Crystal Dynamics still has it, right?
I don't. So the Shadow of the Tomb Raider was done by Eidos Montreal.
Okay.
Right.
And Crystal Dynamics is very busy
Avengers.
right now with Avengers.
Look,
So-
man, that game's not as bad as everyone says it is, okay?
So, for my Black Friday game shopping that I have with me, first up, I have Avengers.
Woo!
Got it from GameFly for $20.
Woo!
Nice.
Even
That's a good price.
even better, for $10 from GameFly, I have the one Fast and the Furious Crossroads, which I hear is utter trash, and I'm so excited.
Can you stream that soon, please?
Yes.
Cool.
That was the one last year at the Game Awards, right? Where like
Yes.
Vin Diesel walked out.
Actually,
Ugh.
I'm going to stream after the podcast. Maybe I'll install it quick.
I mean, I'll watch it. I'm there. Like, I'm already on my computer. I'm available.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Gears 5, $5 at Best Buy, so I'm like, why not?
Wow. Is it still $5?
I don't know.
Huh.
Probably not.
But yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I grabbed it, so I'm like, yes.
What ones did you play with me in Austin? Was it 2 and 3?
I think it was just 3.
Dude, I played those games the first time, like, in the last 2 years. Those games are fantastic. Those games are...
What's your favorite?
3 was a chore to get through. I think we were
I think
just
two's my
trying to
favorite.
get...
Yes.
Yeah, 2.
Two.
Yeah.
2's definitely the best one.
2 is the
Two was
best.
dope because it was just like, I feel like every other game is always just like it was just so nice to like see the humans on the offensive in the beginning. It's like, we're gonna do something about this, and it just starts off with a bang. And I was really impressed because like any other game, like going into the weird beast and shooting the butthole doors, like that would have been the final act, but that was the opening of the first act. Like that was just
Right.
I thought it was really cool. Like
Yeah.
2's the best. 2's great. 3 is also cool when you like start off on like that oil rig or whatever you're on.
3 is still good. I just love 2, but it was weird because I think we played through them before 4 had released.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
what was happening.
Yeah.
We were playing through them as we led up to 4. But I remember everyone always said how like amazing 3 was, and I like just didn't like it was still good. But I was like, how can you people think that 3 is better than 2?
It was nothing close to 2.
No, it was nothing close to it.
In fact, I enjoyed 4 better than 3.
What's funny, I pre-ordered the Gears 4 Ultimate Edition for Austin and I. I still need to play it. I haven't played it yet.
I played it, and Elijah did not play it.
4 is really good. I thought 4 was awesome.
I heard it's great, and I'm like, I want to play it.
It looked really good. Like the colors, it wasn't like as dark as the other ones. It was really vibrant.
Okay,
you know?
I played all of them leading up to 5 in preparation for 5, and then I stopped in 5 as soon as I had to like do the real time strategy stuff of like setting up a bit. Like I just don't like that type of game.
The tower defense type stuff.
That's not my jam. So I need to go back and like drop those levels to easy, and then just like go back because like I'm all about the third person shooting. I just don't care about.
Well, we should play. Like we should go through those and play them again. Like I wouldn't mind going through 1 again, starting with 1 and just going through them.
Well, that and the ultimate edition on Xbox One is gorgeous. Like that game, that game looks great. Yeah. You can't believe it's like a 2007, 2006.
I can't believe it's not butter. Also, no, I did play some 4. I think I played through the first chapter.
Okay,
because I did that this year. But the
5 I haven't played. So
the main 2 games I wanted on Black Friday, I did pick up. Like a week beforehand, I got Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Nice.
It was already on sale for $35. So I'm like, okay, which was the Black Friday price, and Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
I'm torn, man. That's either my game of the year or Astrobot is my game of the year.
I played a little bit of it just because one day I'm like, I just want to try it and I'm like, this is really good. But right now I'm in that mood of I'm sticking with Yakuza. I'm gonna beat that, and then I'll.
Yeah, because it seems like the kind of game where if you don't play it for 2 weeks, you lose it. Like you lose like, what was I doing? What am I supposed to do? How do I do this?
Yeah, Yakuza is probably my game of the year right now because it's so perfect.
Yeah.
So perfect.
I got a lot of friends who are loving it, yeah.
Are you guys going to get Cyberpunk?
I already pre-ordered it, yeah.
I'm probably going to wait. I have so much to play already. Like between Avengers, Ghost of Tsushima, the 4.5 hours Fast and Furious is going to take me. I just have way too much to play right now.
But it's not going to be on the Game of the Year award, or it's not going to be. It'll be for next year, right?
Yes, for Game Awards.
I think it comes out too late.
Yeah. That's what they already said. It will be eligible next year because that's what everyone's mad. It's like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order wasn't eligible last year, and I'm like, I mean, it has a nomination this year, and also Jedi Fallen Order is a fantastic game. But if you're telling me Fallen Order is better than Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, like people are like, why is it not nominated for Game of the Year? I'm like, did you look at the Game of the Year nominations? They're amazing.
Also, let's be real. This is just like this specific award show. Like, plenty of people gave it Game of the Year last year. So, I mean, it's not like it's necessarily like
just because Jeff Keighley doesn't say it's the Game of the Year doesn't mean it's not the Game of the Year. Also,
but
I want to open up Game of the Years to also include like the best game you played this year. So, like, man, I played Final Fantasy X for the first time this year. That's a great game. Holy crap. Where has that been all my life?
I want to talk to you guys after the podcast quick about, I do want to do a Game of the Year kind of thing.
100%.
But not just brand new games, just like the games we played this year.
Okay. I could be on that one, but I can't do, like, my goal for next year is to try quarterly, if not maybe every 4 months, to play a new game. So that way I could have like, okay, let's play some new stuff.
I'm not going to say to be on the podcast. I'm like, yeah, that's a good goal.
I was going to make that joke. I was going to say it.
Yeah, I know. I need to get on the podcast first.
Unfortunately, this is Coach's podcast quota for the year. That's why he can't be on. This is his last episode.
Right, exactly. See you in June.
No, I was going to say, I mean, we'll certainly do a Game of the Year episode. And I just realized it'll probably be one we'll release on New Year's Day is what I'm thinking, because New Year's is a Friday. So I think that's perfect. Yeah.
I hate to talk about how the sausage is made, but can we like really collaborate and make some just like weird titles, like weird awards for games?
Yes.
Okay,
I 1000% yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
But yeah, that's everything I picked up slash am picking up Black Friday wise. I didn't buy any digital games on Black Friday, which is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
physical all the way.
I guess Control was. Well, I did buy a few Oculus games.
Yes,
but
Austin.
I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But
we do want to talk about Austin here. Got a Quest 2, and I want to hear your thoughts on your time with it so far.
Yeah, I just wanted to spend a couple minutes. I know we're already kind of long, but
That's what she said.
I bought a PSVR at launch. I pre-ordered it, bought it at launch, and I liked the hardware at the time. When it released, the games were kind of lacking for me. There wasn't really much there that was like keeping my interest. So I ended up selling my PSVR within like a year. But like I said, I loved it, and ever since I got rid of it, I've like really missed VR, and I've been dying for a way to dig back in. But I was like, well, I don't really have a super strong PC, and I don't necessarily want to buy like PSVR again with potentially like a new one coming out. So I bought a Quest 2 because they're $300, which is like a really freaking good deal for like an all-in-one system. And it's been like a month now. It's been forever since I've been on the show, so I obviously haven't talked about it, but I have played a ton of games on it. I love the thing. I think it's like a natural evolution of VR. I really hope that whatever Sony does with the PSVR 2 is some sort of wireless solution, because I think that solves like every issue I had.
I'm sorry, I might be misunderstanding. The Oculus 2 doesn't require like a beefy PC to play?
No, it's literally a system.
Yeah.
And so, like, does it play Half-Life Alyx?
No, but you can make it play Half-Life Alyx if you do hook it to a computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has the option.
Okay.
Like you could essentially go out in your backyard and do Beat Saber.
Right. So
okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know
Yes.
that. I thought you needed.
It's
I thought you
really
needed
cool.
like a little power source to work with. Okay.
and I will say, I mean, it's lower end hardware. It basically is like a smartphone hardware, but when you think about it, like it's still able to run stuff like Super Hot and Vader Immortal, and like that's where that game started, was on Quest.
Yep.
So I mean, it's still able to run games. It's just kind of on lower settings, but I'm not really bothered by that fact at all.
But the lower settings are still higher than the PSVR settings, right?
Right.
Okay.
And yes, and it has a higher resolution than the PSVR, so there's like basically no screen door effect, like at all.
That's my biggest thing. Like, I love PSVR. I think it's very impressive technology, but the fact that I can just see little, like, it looks like graph paper lines, like through everything.
And there's like none on the Quest 2, so it's a huge improvement. So but I've been playing a lot of games. The main ones I guess I've been playing that I wanted to talk about quickly are Population 1, which is basically like Fortnite but in VR. I've played a lot of it with friends of the show, Brandon and Craig. That game is freaking awesome. The kind of quirk of that game is like you can climb any surface. So you like reach your hands out and like move them up, and you can grip onto anything, literally anything in the world.
That's cool.
And so like you can climb huge towers or whatever it is, and you can hang off of a tower and like shoot people. It's like awesome. It's really freaking cool. Really fun battle royale game. Beat Saber I had never played. I didn't have a PSVR.
I'm so happy for you.
When Beat Saber came out on that. So that game has like had the most playtime for me. I've played it like nonstop.
And now you know why I play it constantly.
Right, and it's awesome. I mean, it's so active, and I just love the way that game plays. The music is good.
What's more of like a holy crap moment for you? The first time you played Guitar Hero or Rock Band or Beat Saber?
Oh man.
Like what do you think has like the bigger impact on you? Like as like a watershed moment for gaming?
I honestly think Beat Saber.
Oh,
I mean, I love Rock Band, and I played literally every single Guitar Hero and Rock Band game. I love all of those games, but I think Beat Saber was like pretty revolutionary for me. I mean, I'd seen gameplay obviously, but it was like actually playing it. It's just unique. I don't know. Like it's so, and like I said, it's so active. I think that's part of why I like it. Like it really is an exercise. Like you really do kind of get your heart pumping, and that's like very unique for a game like that, I think.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I loved it. But those were like the main two I wanted to talk about. And I've purchased other ones. I bought a few games on Black Friday. I bought this game called In Death Unchained, which is basically like it's a roguelite kind of game, but it reminds me of Bloodborne a little bit. It's like really tough, but you have like a bow and arrow, and you're like using this bow and arrow and like trying to hit people, and they're like running up at you, and you have like a shield that you like pull up and block people with. It's really interesting. So I like that
I'm
one.
gonna need you to try that and let me know how it is. You had me at Bloodborne-ish.
It's interesting. It's like you're in like purgatory, so it's very unique. But that's all I wanted to say. I'm loving my Quest 2.
Yeah, but I want you to say more though. So like, have you done any like exploration on like YouTube with VR content?
I haven't touched YouTube yet. I did, however, try big screen VR, which is, I don't know if it's on PSVR, but it's basically like you're at a movie theater.
Yes.
And
Yes, it is.
you can bring your friends over and you can all sit there and watch movies together. And at first I was like, yeah, I mean, that's cool. But of all things, like the reason this like really stuck out to me was I was like sitting there like watching these trailers or whatever it was in this like demo room. But you like look around in the theater and the lights on the chairs in front of you, like the light is reflecting off the chairs based off what the screen is showing. And I was like,
cool.
This is awesome. Like, I feel like I'm in a movie theater for real. Like, I don't feel like I'm just sitting somewhere and there's like this screen in front of me. I really feel the experience of like being in a movie theater.
Also, holy crap, what a year for that too.
Yeah.
Right.
I know. Yeah.
And the coolest thing with that app is they have like events. So when I booted it up the other day, you could like watch movies and stuff on there, like with other people. They were like playing one of the Dragon Ball movies, and you could go like watch it with like a theater full of people.
That's
It's
cool.
very interesting.
See, when I get
What's the name of it?
It's called Big Screen.
Okay, I'll download it.
when I get my
Yeah.
Quest, we'll all have to watch something together.
Yeah.
Well-
And you can even do like your own media. So if you have like a movie on your computer or something and you want to stream it to all your friends, you can do it through that app.
300
Yes.
$300 like isn't cheap, but like knowing that you don't need like a PC to anchor it to, like that is
Right.
Yeah,
super
it-
compelling.
It's awesome that it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like the one that's owned by Facebook, so like you will need a Facebook account.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. And that is, I will say, my biggest complaint. I'm not a big fan of that. I will say I don't really use my Facebook. Like everything on my Facebook is privated. So like basically nobody can find me unless I want them to find me.
Same, the exact same. Yeah.
I will find you.
Like, yeah, well, you're my friend already, so it's very
Not going
easy
to
for
take
you to find
much,
me.
but
But it's still like kind of unnecessary. I feel like apparently, and this is my first Oculus product, so I don't know too much, but from my understanding, there was like an Oculus login on all the past devices, and they just like got
Removed
rid
it.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
So
like
I'm not a big fan of that.
Is it a closed ecosystem? Like, is it like running like a kernel version of like Facebook Lite or something, like through the UI? Like, or
The Oculus itself actually runs Android 10, I want to say.
Okay.
So it's actually like running Android, and it is hackable. There's the thing. Well, it's not necessarily hackable, but like you can sideload in games. So there's this thing called Side Quest that is approved by Facebook, which is interesting. But you can hook it up to your computer, the Quest, and basically like sideload in games that haven't necessarily been approved to go on the Oculus store.
Mhm.
But there's like this whole Side Quest ecosystem. It's like its own store. There's games like Pavlov is a good one. It's like a shooter, kind of like Counter-Strike. You can throw it on your Quest for free from this app and just play it whenever you want, even though it's like not officially on the Oculus store.
That's super
And
cool.
they've approved that process, so it's really interesting.
And
That
I
is
assume that's
fascinating.
how you get Half-Life Alyx on your Oculus, I'm guessing.
No, basically, so the other option is you can, if you buy a link cable, which there's an official one that's like $80, or you can buy an Anchor cable, which is Anchor is just a manufacturer. They make like batteries.
Yeah, ANKR, right? Yeah.
Right.
And
It's basically
KER.
just a USB cable, a USB-C cable, but it's like 10 feet long. The official one, I think, is like 15 feet. But you plug it into your computer, and if your computer is good enough, it basically works like a Rift or like a Vive or whatever it may be. So your computer would be running the game at that point and then like shooting it to your headset.
Gotcha.
So that's how you would play Alex. That's unfortunately Alex is a bit too strong to just like shove into your headset and like
Sure.
play it standalone.
That's actually one of the reasons I'm so excited to buy Brandon's off of him is I want to play Phasmophobia in VR.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You've been super into that game. Yeah.
It's so good.
And so there's a lot of options. Like I know Coach was talking about like you can, if you really want to play like Star Wars Squadrons on your computer in VR, you can hook your Quest to your computer and do that. So it really gives you a lot of options. I mean, it's essentially the biggest thing I could compare it to is like the Switch, where it's like you can take it on the go, play games, or you can hook it to your computer and play games, which is really interesting.
That's cool. And I know like the whole premise is to be wireless, but I assume there's got to be a way to like plug it in and still play, so you can have like extended play times.
Yeah, so they sell an official like strap that has like a battery built into the back, so it's like an extra like 3 or 4 hours. But what I do, I guess I don't have it with me, but I have a battery from Anchor that basically can charge my Quest like 2 or 3 times. And they sell mounts where you can like mount the battery to the back of your headset, which is good because it acts as a counterweight, so it's not like digging into the front of your face as much. But what I do is I just put it in my pocket and I have a cord like running down my back, and it just charges my headset while I'm playing.
How often does your partner just like walk in and take pictures of you while you're doing VR stuff?
Frequently.
And just make fun of you later after the fact. Yeah.
Frequently.
Yeah.
God, I can. Yep.
When I first got
but I'm
PSVR,
able to do the same thing for her.
Yeah.
So.
You know, the scene is exciting too because of the modding that's going on.
Yes.
Like there's this one guy that has basically modded the original Doom 1 and 2. So you can install it on your Quest. And right now, and I think it's going to be available like early 2021, like January, but Doom 3, I don't think it's the BFG edition. I think it's just the original one. But the thing is, they make it to where you can still run all of the mods for it. So if you wanted a high-res pack that's available, you could select it in the menu. So you could also play like the all of the different Half-Lives or 1 and 2. I don't know about all of the different the chapters or whatever after it, but
like episode,
episodes. So it's really exciting. Like if you go on there and on YouTube and just research what's going on, it's pretty exciting what you can do. And you know, Oculus Quest is a good jump in. Like to it, because we were when the PSVR came out, we had that discussion on a podcast, and I said I wouldn't jump in for a while because I don't see Sony ever supporting anything but their main console, and 2, it's new technology, so it's going to get better quick. So but
and it has,
it
definitely has,
and I think it's a good time to jump in for those that are kind of thinking about it right now, because it's like it's the early 2000s again, and things are changing and really, really good. Love that. That's my
jam. I'm through science or technology. I hope, or magic. I hope to make it just like 2005, 2006.
Yep.
That's all I want to do.
Good times,
Austin.
Man.
I will.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want. If you end up looking for a game that is much more like workout oriented, I think it's on Quest, but I don't know for sure. Box VR.
It is, because I've been looking into it because of you. Was just rebranded on Quest, though. It's now called Fit XR, I believe is what it's called. But it's the same thing. It's just got some more stuff in it.
Okay.
It was just on sale, and I wanted to buy it. I just wanted to save my money a little bit. But that's going to be like one of my next purchases.
To give you an idea, my favorite like playlist on there to do, it's 45 minutes long. And the last time I played, I burned like 550 calories.
Nice. That's good.
It is crazy, and it's so fun too. Like the music is very catchy, and I like it.
Well, the opportunities for like fitness in VR, I had never really thought about, because there's a lot of fitness type games on Quest. There's one that's really popular called Synth Riders, apparently, that's like kind of like a dancing kind of game, but it's like pretty intense apparently. So there's a lot of cool stuff like that. I mean, so far, like I said, the thing I've enjoyed the most is like the activeness of Beat Saber. Like I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know, at work, I sit at a desk for 8 hours and anchor and do whatever. And I'm sitting in front of a computer screen all day long. And like sometimes when I get home, the last thing I want to do is just continue to sit on my couch and like look at the TV and play games. Right. So like Quest has really just changed things for me a bit. It's made me a little more active. It's made me more excited to play games that I maybe normally wouldn't play.
Yeah, that's super cool, man. I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, it's just like a different venue to enjoy something vaguely familiar, I guess. Yeah, that's really cool.
So
Elijah,
that's my spiel on Quest.
Can you speak to the quality of Beat Saber on PSVR?
I love it. It's very good. There was an update recently that kind of broke it for me a little bit, and I had to fix it. It made all of the blocks super low to the ground. So like songs I would normally play, I like had to like bend my knees just to be able to hit them. So I had to adjust it to make it think I was super short. Like in Beat Saber height, my knees are on the ground.
Gotcha.
Huh.
And I had to adjust it to do that in order for me to play the game like normal. But other than that, yeah, it plays great on PSVR. Like I said, I don't have a Quest yet, so I can't really speak to how much better it is on there. But I play the crap out of it on PSVR.
Gotcha.
The coolest thing with the Quest version too is like obviously you can't do this on PSVR, but if you can either mod your Quest to do this, which I'm not a big fan of because I don't necessarily want to get banned by Facebook, or you can buy the game on your computer. If you play it off your computer, you can do custom songs.
Yes.
And like people make custom songs, and there's tons and tons of like community made songs. And so it like just greatly adds to the playtime of that game.
Oh, and Austin, I will recommend. There are 2 song packs.
Mhm.
Super good. Like there
Which
are a couple song packs, but the Panic at the Disco song pack and the Linkin Park one. The Linkin Park one is super hard.
Because you got house for a living. I've seen that. That's the Panic at the Disco one.
That's one of them, and that's the first one that I almost 100%ed on Expert Plus.
God, it seems like such an song. Yeah.
So far, I cannot play any of the Linkin Park songs on Expert, and I can play like almost the entirety of base game on Expert. So it's like I'm getting there, but
what are the Linkin Park songs?
Faint,
Bleed It Out, Numb, What I've done.
God,
New Divide.
Yeah,
Faint
New Divide
seems brutal in Beat Saber.
It is.
George, one of these times, I will do Beat Saber, and I will record like the PS4 video of Faint for you to see.
All right, yeah,
It's very
on Expert Plus.
Because the 2 PSVR games I'm like most tempted to get, but haven't pulled the trigger on yet, are Moss and
I need to play Moss too.
I
really want Moss.
Those are the 2 ones that I really want to check out.
Also, Beat Saber has now it's limited on PSVR, but on PSVR you can do 180 degree mode, and on Quest you can do 360 degree mode.
Yep, it's really cool.
That is cool, but some of the songs are insane.
Yes,
especially
you're like turning around like nonstop.
To bring it back around, Linkin Park in 180 degree mode. I think the first one I did, I just got partway and I'm just like, no, and I just stopped. I'm like, I'm not even gonna waste my time clicking start and then quit. I'm just gonna let it go there itself.
It's tough. Those songs are all tough.
I want to play Beat Saber now.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, let's go. Let's all go play Beat Saber.
Yeah. I think
Elijah, take us home. Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wants to say before we finish up for the night?
I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and see you next year, Coach.
Let me bring up, I cannot remember off the top of my head, the entire ending spiel. Frameskip is available on just like every single way you can listen to a podcast. If you have a way of leaving a review on that service, please do. It really helps us out. If you have a question for the show, ask it at bit.ly/frameskipq or at frameskippodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at frameskippod or facebook.com/frameskippod. Your hosts are me at Local Lizardman, Austin at J Eller, George at GB Loftus, and Coach at frameskippod.
I think you want to retry one of those. You want to retry Austin's?
Austin J. Eller?
There you go.
Yeah, he said add.
It's okay.
He said add JLer. It was really funny.
I was just waiting.
Yep,
It's okay.
That's okay. I'm just gonna try and search J. Eller now because why not?
Jeller? Yeah.
Who out there's Jeller? Yeah. I need to know.
But all right, thanks guys for joining us, and until next time, good night, listeners. Good night.
Breath of the Wild is the best video game ever made.
I can't believe we let him do that.